What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ages of Fear. I'm Clayton, and today is another live stream Sunday. What's up, everyone? Hope you're doing well. We've been doing horror brackets the past couple weeks on Sundays, changing it up a little bit. Gonna do. We're still doing horror, but this is gonna be a tier ranking with you guys. So to help me out, as you can see, I got a couple fellows with me in the chat and on the stream. One of them you know very, very well. We've had him on multiple times, Mr. Michael from Movies and Beyond. And of course, we have Eric from the Bearded Entertainment. What's up, guys? Thank you guys for being on here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's awesome to be here.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yeah, and both of their links will be in the comment or description as well. So if you guys want to go check out their channels, which I would highly recommend doing, just look in the comment section somewhere around there and you will see the links for their channels. Go like and subscribe to both of their awesome channels and show them some love and support. All right, Michael, Eric, are you guys ready to do a horror villain tier ranking?
Yes, been looking. I've done a lot of research on the horror villains. The villains that I thought were the biggest horrors. So I am very ready for this one.
I feel like I've been preparing for this my entire life. I got a lot.
It's the moment of truth.
Since the age of 12.
That's awesome. Let's see. We got a few people in the chat with us. Melissa is in the chat. What's up, Melissa? Thank you for being here. Jerry Wilson is in the chat saying, please smash that like button. And after the stream, be sure to leave a comment. Yes, thank you very much. Jerry's one of my new mods. Thank you, Jerry, for that. We got Val from Val's Views in the chat. The general always gets a salute from the squad. What's up, Val? Saying good afternoon, y'all. Thank you very much for being here, Val. And Kate from Popping the Popcorn is here as well. What's up, Kate? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. All right. So let me go ahead and pull up the tier chart. All right.
That's what I look like trying to pull shit up. I swear to God.
All right. So I got the chart pulled up here. A couple of them were on there twice, so I just kind of moved them down to the bottom. So I think I counted 26 total that we're gonna be ranking. So I don't know. This may not be like a long stream because you guys are gonna be voting on where each of these characters should end up. Michael and Eric are also welcome to cast their vote. Just taking a look at the chart here, at the top, we have GOAT, which obviously, if you're not familiar with that term, stands for greatest of all time. So this is reserved for only the best of the best. We're talking, the greatest villains in horror history. All right. So we're not going to be dropping people in that tier, in that place a whole lot. That should be reserved for the best of the best. Underneath that, we got great. So these are the great villains that we think nailed it. They're great villains, but they may not quite be on that GOAT status. And then below that are good, solid villains that we think are done pretty well. Below that, we have decent. This is just the take it or leave it. Not bad, but not necessarily good. And then below that, we have not good. And then below that, failures at life, failures at horror. So that's kind of how we got it set up. If that works for you guys.
That works for me, man. I'm already mentally going through every one and throwing them where I see them.
Nice. We won't go in order. I'll kind of just throw them at random, so the chat won't know what we got coming up. Jeff D'Angelo is here. What's up, Jeff? Thank you for being here. All right, so let's get started. Before we do, though, I want to ask you guys the question, and the comment. People in the comment section in the chat can answer this as well. Question for you guys, which I think I might know where you're going, but what is one horror villain that you guys think is overrated, and then one horror villain that you guys think is underrated that doesn't get enough attention? Michael, we'll start with you.
Well, I think it kind of depends on, the group of people that you're talking to, because, there are so many different opinions on horror people. Like you have your fans of a lot of them, so if I think of someone being overrated, that's in my mind,
Right.
somebody that a lot of people love, that I'm
Right.
just like, for the most part, I could, kind of take it or leave it. And it's, it had come to a shock to a lot of people, but to me, that's Leatherface. I don't think that Leatherface really, he has his place, one of the original slashers of all freaking time. I get it,
Right.
man. But I mean, movie consistency wise, it's like, I hate to quote Forrest Gump, but it's like you never know what you're gonna get.
Right.
You really don't. Like, you'll get the OG, which was a banger, and then the movies after that, I'm just kind of like, well, you really didn't keep me where you had me during the original. And then a banger like 2003 will come out. You're just like, fuck man. And then from there, it just right back down to shit soup for me. Like, I really like the prequel to the 2003 remake, which a lot of people didn't like. Like, Andrew Bernarski to me is probably the best Leatherface, and that's no offense to Gunnar Hansen. It's just, when I think of Leatherface, he has all the characteristics I want of Leatherface, but at the end of the day, it's like, there's a lot of other icons I would rather watch, but yet I know that to some people, he's the man, and I get it. I understand. Underrated to me, I'm probably going with Norman Bates. I think that a lot of people don't really talk about him ever. I've been doing this for over a year, and I think I've had one conversation about Psycho, and that happened last week. So I hear a lot of people giving credit to Psycho, is saying, you're like, yeah, it was one of the first slashers. It's like, well, let's talk about it. It's like, no. And it's like, man, when I watch that movie, it's just like, it's so good to me, man. Like, it's, I think it's so much better than people give it credit for. But then again, I'm big on story. Like, I don't watch these movies just to see some random guy with a mask on that's really big to be like, you know what I mean? Like, I want some of that feeling to it. I want some emotions tied to it and everything. And Psycho does that for me, man. Like it really does. It really invests me in the story, because everything I think that's going to happen doesn't happen. Like, it just kind of like flips it on you. And it's, I don't know, man. But those are my two that I'd actually have to throw up there, man. If I have to, and I really don't want to, but it was a question that was asked to me.
I'm curious, because like you said, it depends on who you ask, and probably the environment and the time that they grew up. But I like hearing that stuff from people. Eric, what about you? Who's one villain that you think, just in your time, in your environment, and whatever, however you want to slice it, that you would say is an overrated villain, and then one that you think is underrated, doesn't maybe get the attention that they deserve?
If I'm going overrated, I would say Art the Clown. Right now, because Art the Clown, and I think the biggest reason behind him being overrated is because he's new, he's fresh, but he is no substance. That's the thing. There's nothing there. There is no substance.
Gotcha.
You take like Jason, you take Michael, you take Freddy, Chucky. Like, there's a backstory behind all of them. Like, there's a good backstory behind them. And I get it. You've had longer to like flesh that out. But by the time we actually see Jason on screen killing people, we know something about him. Art the Clown, there's no substance. I mean, and I'm not saying I don't like Art the Clown. I'm saying it's a very specific type of slasher. There's nothing there, just shows up to kill people, and that's about it. So my overrated, I'm going to say Art the Clown.
Okay.
And for my underrated, I'm gonna say Leatherface. I think Leatherface is severely underrated.
That's awesome.
When everyone talks about like, oh, the first slasher, obviously they do skip Norman Bates and Black Christmas and everything. And those are good. Those are awesome choices. They just don't meet everything for me that I see as a slasher. But I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not only do I consider it the first modern slasher, I consider it to be a perfect movie, which I wouldn't say about Halloween, or I wouldn't say about the first Friday.
Yeah.
Like I consider the first Texas Chainsaw to be a perfect movie. And anytime I don't think I've ever met, like, in this YouTube community and in doing this as long as I have, which isn't very long, but I tend to ask people, who's your top, who's your Mount Rushmore slashers, your top four.
Right.
I've heard maybe one or two people in my entire time put Leatherface up there. And I'm like, Leatherface, the modern slasher as we know it, he's the first one. One could argue that you don't have any of the others in the way they exist now without him. So, and I just don't hear, and maybe Michael and I are talking to different people. I mean, obviously we are. If he's hearing people talk about Texas Chainsaw all the time, he's definitely talking to different people than I am, because I don't hear fucking anyone talking about Texas Chainsaw. So I think Leatherface is underrated,
because I'm tired of hearing about it. Like, I will trade you spots. There are tons of Leatherface fans, and it's just like it's
compared to Friday and Halloween, though.
You could put Chucky up there too. I mean, dude, it's I don't know. Like, I see, a lot of people, though I wanted to stay away from, people like Pinhead and stuff like that, because there's tons of Pinhead fans. But to me, I don't feel like they're on the same tier as when you talk about like Leatherface, you talk about Jason, you talk about Michael, you talk about Freddy, you talk about Chucky. I think that there's tiers with that, and here we are doing a tier chart, right? It's just like, I guess it depends on where you're at, man, because there's a lot of people that want to talk about Leatherface. There is, and I mean,
I'm one of them, man. I love Leatherface.
I will hook you up, brother. Like, seriously,
please do.
That's awesome.
People. What about you, man? What about you, Clayton? Who's your under over?
So I know I'm gonna get some heat for this one. Michael, I love you. I love you. Overrated. I'm gonna go with Jason. Now that's not
things that have been smoked that I was not a part of in here.
Michael's like, all right, y'all, I'm out.
He's like, I'm gone. I'm out. Bye. No, okay. Here's the thing. I'll preface it with this. I do like Jason. All right, I do really, and as a whole, collectively, he's got some of my favorite slasher movies. I just think that he's the reason I say he's overrated is because I do think he is very similar in a lot of ways to Michael. I just think that Michael is better. So in that regard, like, I think when
this debate, but that's not what we're here for.
Keep on track, Michael. Stay strong.
Yeah. I won't get too deep into it because I know Michael's fuming.
Not mad. But just want to debate. That's all.
Yeah, I think that I think Jason's obviously the better killer. He definitely has a higher body count. He's more efficient killer. But as far as like him as a character, as a person, like there's a lot of similarities with Michael. You know, the white mask, the mute, no talking. Neither of them are real. I mean, Jason does run, but he also walks a lot. He does like a lot of, walking. Neither of them really toy with their villains. They just straight up kill their ass. So I would say I think that Jason is overrated in that regard, but not as far as like movies. I don't think his movies are overrated. I just think him as a character, like I don't put him on the same level as like Freddy or Michael as a character, but movies, I would take a lot of Friday movies over a lot of Halloween movies or a lot of Nightmare movies. So he would probably be my overrated. Underrated, I would probably go with Billy from Black Christmas. I don't think that Billy gets the attention that he deserves a lot because he precedes Michael and Jason and Freddy. You know, he comes before all those guys. Same year that Leatherface came out. But Billy is also so good. He's so scary and creepy and just has that just sadistic, just ruthless part to his personality. You know, the prank calls where he's calling the girls and just, you know, cussing at them and saying all this profanity and stuff. It's just like you get a little insight into how twisted of a character he is, but you never hear people talk about Billy the way that they talk about Michael or Jason or Freddy or even Leatherface or Ghostface. Billy's kind of like that quiet killer that doesn't get mentioned a lot, but he's, to me, a great character. So that would be my over and under on that.
I think Billy's problem is that it was Billy wasn't, he didn't return. I mean, he's had remakes, but you know, but the remakes not good. So I think that's the big thing with Billy is, you know, with Michael and, you know, all the other slashers, honestly, that you get, they keep coming back. So people remember them. But with Billy, obviously it's a freaking great movie. Like, I don't know anyone who says Black Christmas isn't a good movie, but it's just kind of a standalone thing. So
that's true. That is true.
I mean, we talked about that last week because I posed the question, do you think that the fact that Black Christmas didn't get sequels actually hurt Billy's popularity? You remember when we talked about that? And it's just like, even with Jason, you know, he wasn't established after the first Friday the 13th. You take the rest of the sequels out, Jason's a boy in a lake who maybe jumped out and pulled Allison under.
Right. That's why Tom Savini didn't come back. Jason's dead. What are you talking about?
Maybe he's the boy. You know what I mean? Without the sequels. So definitely a good point.
Let's see what the chat is saying, and then we will get right into this this tier chart. So let's see. Melissa saying villain Myers. Michael, are you saying he's overrated or underrated? Jigsaw.
Oh yeah, is Jigsaw on this list down here? I'm looking. I don't know if I see Jigsaw. Oh yeah, I see Billy. Billy the puppet. So we'll consider that to be Jigsaw.
Yeah,
that's good. I was about to say you got to have Jigsaw, man.
He's got to be on there now. Oh, so Melissa saying overrated Myers, underrated Jigsaw. Interesting. Okay, all right. You know, Jeff D'Angelo saying underrated all the killer clowns.
Oh, killer clowns from outer space.
Yeah. Melissa saying Jack from The Shining, Jack Torrance from The Shining, and Pinhead.
I don't know if I would consider Jack Torrance a slasher. That's more of a paranormal movie to me. That's not real. I personally, I don't know if I would consider The Shining a slasher. Like,
Shining. I have Shining more in that like psychological type of horror, you know, it makes you, it messes with your mind. You don't know what exactly is going on, but you're creeped out by whatever it is. You can't figure it out. Yeah, it's more of a like that psychological horror to me.
But it does have the paranormal elements with the you know, with the ghosts and the actual Shining and everything. So I don't know. Jack Torrance is a damn good character.
Oh yeah,
that movie unfortunately has been marred for me by the director forever. But
Stanley Kubrick, you didn't like Stanley Kubrick?
No, I did. He was I don't know if you've heard, but he's a terrible person.
Oh no, I didn't know.
Yeah, he not getting all the way into it. He just really like abused actors in specific ways. Very notoriously on The Shining with
oil.
With what's her name?
Olive oil. She was olive oil.
Olive oil.
What's her? I'm trying to remember her name.
Olive oil in Popeye.
Yeah, with Robin
Oh
Williams.
yes, yes.
I'm trying to remember the character's name. I want to say Shelley. Yeah, Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall. Yes.
Yeah, he was
Duvall.
like, he pretty much tortured the woman to quote unquote get a better performance out of her. And I'm like, he's not a good director in my opinion. If you have to torture someone for them to give a tortured performance, maybe you're not a good enough director to get a tortured performance out of someone.
Yeah, it's crazy that you say that, because when I did my Shining review with Brian, that was something that we were talking about. Like, there comes to a point where if you can't get the performance out of the actor that you're wanting, maybe you should have gotten a different actor, dude. Like,
and that's the thing,
because you have Jack Nicholson as your lead. Like if you can't find a female actor to match that, or at least get damn close to it just by their natural talent, then maybe you need to find someone else. But you don't torture them to try to get them there. Either they have that talent and they can go there, or you got to find someone else.
Yeah, I mean, and there's other things about him, like the takes. Like I don't know if you know, he's notorious for doing an absurd amount of takes, even if he's going to use the second or third one. Like the Shining, the Here's Johnny scene, they did over 80 takes. And you see how she has to, like, Shelley Duvall has to like react and be crying and screaming and like that.
Yeah.
Imagine doing that 80 times in a row, like doing that sequence.
Right.
Yeah, they went through, I think what I read was 87 doors they went through to get that. So he's just, I don't know. I don't think he's that great. And I think Dr. Sleep. I think Dr. Sleep was better. Being honest, I love Dr.
Really.
Sleep. Yeah. Anyways, okay. We can get into this here.
All right. Whoa, what's going on? All right. Okay, so let's start in with the tier chart. So I'm just gonna go in a random order. I'm gonna pick somebody, and I'll throw it in the chat where you guys think they belong. Go, great, good, decent, not good, failure. So I'm gonna start off. I'm just gonna throw them in decent to start, and then we can adjust it from there. But I'm gonna start off with a good one. I'm gonna go with Pennywise. Or just throw Pennywise in decent for now, and then why is the chart spazzing out like that? I don't know what's going on there.
It's not spazzing out.
Yeah, I was about to say it's not spazzing out on us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on my screen it's like spazzing out for some reason. All right, so I'll just put Pennywise in the chat. Where does Pennywise go for you guys? Where would y'all put Pennywise?
Okay, I'll go first. I think Pennywise goes under the great for me. I think Pennywise is a great character. But when it comes to slashers and everything, I just don't think that it's a greatest of all time.
Yeah, I would agree. I'll say great because he doesn't have a bad movie. You think of the 3 movies we've got Pennywise in, none of them are bad. They're all.
I wasn't a big fan of Chapter 2, to be honest. The remake Chapter 2.
It wasn't the best, but it was still. Yeah. I mean, it
wasn't Halloween Resurrection.
It wasn't Halloween Resurrection. It wasn't Jason Goes to Hell.
Right.
So it was a good movie in my opinion, but and I'm also trying to rank this on the characters themselves and not the movies they're in.
So I did notice that we have 2 versions of Pennywise. Are we just talking about?
Yeah. So there are a couple that came up twice. So we're just going to do the ones I throw up. If they're doubled, if they're on there twice, they're just going to be the one that I throw up. So this one, I'm just going Tim Curry Pennywise as a character
for covering both the TV movie and the movies, Bill Skarsgård's as well, or just that one.
It can be both, just overall as a character, because like we'll have Freddy come up, and if you want to include Jackie Earle Haley's performance in the remake, just because it's the same character, just in a modern remake version.
I got you.
So yeah, just as overall as a character, where would y'all having? So y'all are both going great.
Yeah, I'd go great, even if we don't include Bill Skarsgård's version. He's still great to me. He's definitely not prolific enough to be in the GOAT category. I think if he had like 2, maybe 3 more movies, it might get him to GOAT status. But as of right now, I think great.
Okay. Yeah. I'll probably go with great too. I love Tim Curry's portrayal of Pennywise. It scared the crap out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I the way I look at it is Tim Curry, in my opinion, is a scarier Pennywise than Bill Skarsgård, but Bill Skarsgård's movies were better than Tim Curry's movie. As a movie, I would be more likely to watch the Bill Skarsgård It over the 1990 TV movie. But if I could put Tim Curry's Pennywise in the Bill Skarsgård movie, I absolutely would, because to me, that his version of that character was scarier. But the character as a whole, I still think is a great character. It's a interesting concept. To me, Pennywise is very similar to Freddy in a number of ways. Like he lives off fear, he preys off fear. He can control, manipulate things through fear. It's not necessarily through dreams, it's more through fear. They both prey on kids. So very similar to Freddy, but there's also differences in the character as well. I think Freddy is a better villain, but I do think Pennywise is a great character. So let's see what the chat is saying. Melissa saying, I hate clowns.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was looking through. I didn't see any of them actually rank it.
Yeah, I don't see any of you guys. Where would you guys have Pennywise on this chart? Where would y'all place him? Let me know in the comments section. What's up, Jerry? How's it going, man?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think that I was happy with the way both of them ended. I wasn't a fan of the big spider, to be honest with you guys. And
not a fan.
I wasn't a fan with the way chapter 2 ended either. Like
just
it
pretty
was
much bullying him and dying.
Like it was just like what are we doing here? Like what? But for a character, man, like and the funny thing about that is I love chapter 1. I love it. I think it's fantastic. And the first half of the original It, I love that better than I do the second part. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, you would have thought that with It Chapter 2, they would have figured out how to do an alternate ending without making him a giant spider. You have the liberty as a filmmaker to make whatever film you want. You don't necessarily have to make it page for page from the book. So I just think like we have enough movies behind us now that I think that they could have done something, stay true to the story, but just change the wacky ass ending where all this time he's really just a giant spider. So
yeah, the true story, or not the true story, but staying true to the story is weird as well, because like there's also the giant fucking turtle in the real story that guards the worlds and shit. And there's also that very, very problematic scene, you might call it. Maybe not problematic, disturbing, that was not in the movies.
Are you talking about the way that they made their oath?
We're talking the sewer scene.
Oh, that I don't know.
No, we might be talking about the same thing, but it's not exactly a sewer, like the way they make their oath. It's them maybe trying to find their way out.
Bounce, chicka, wow, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Are you aware of that, Clayton?
I don't think so. No.
In the book, they get lost, and then they're trying to find the way out, and it's kind of related to making an oath, but the group is trying to find their way out, and they feel that they need to be, maybe they would have better luck if they were adults. And I'm of course paraphrasing because it's been a while since I've read the book. And they think they come up with the idea the way that they all become adults is they all get laid. So all of them have sex with Beverly.
Wow. I did not know that.
There's a giant kids
sewer. You got to throw the word sewer in the O
that's
word.
The thing. They're in the
mean?
sewer. They're in the sewers when this happens. They all, that's in the book.
Wow.
What we didn't realize is after they banished Pennywise, they became Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Hey,
exactly.
Stephen King was on some stuff, man.
Bro, he's admitted it too. Like he's admitted it. He was on some of that white powder. He was on some of that devil's dandruff back in the day.
Thanks for the F, Jack. Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Yeah, somebody had a crush on Beverly. Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so the vote I see is great. Yeah, I see a couple of votes saying great.
I see a couple great. So we will throw Pennywise onto great. I like that placement. I think it's fair. Moving on. Next up, we're gonna throw. We just got done talking about him, so let's talk about him a little more. Jack Torrance from The Shining. Where does Jack Torrance as a character go?
I went first last time, Eric. Why don't you go first on this one?
Jack Torrance, man, I'm gonna put him in. You know what? I'm gonna leave him in decent because as a slasher, let's say he is a slasher. He got one movie, and he barely got any kills. How many people?
Yeah, he only got one body count.
He got one kill.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave him. He was creepy. But like you said, it's more of a psychological / supernatural thing. I'm gonna leave him at decent because one kill, one movie. He's mentioned in another movie. Like you see someone else playing that character, but it's in ghost form, and he doesn't even get a kill then. So, man, I'll leave him at decent just because the performance was good.
Gotcha.
But I don't think he deserves to be any higher.
Okay, Michael, what about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same board as Eric, but I will go one better and say good, just because of Jack Nicholson's performance and that feeling I got watching him for the first time. Right. But when it does come to slashers, Eric made a lot of good points with that. Like look at the body count, look at returns. It's Jack Nicholson's portrayal of the character.
Oh.
It's fantastic. If we were talking about that, we'd be talking about great GOAT status, but we're actually talking about him being a slasher. It's just hard for me to put him any lower than good because it is Jack Nicholson, and his performance was terrifying for me the first time I saw it. So I will go with good. Eric, I'm right on board with you though, man. Like you make a ton of great points about it, but I will go with good.
Yeah, I like that. It looks like we're getting some great in the comment. Melissa's going great, Val's going great, Jerry's going great. You know what? I might expand this out because it looks like there's a couple non-slashers on here. Like we have the Alien, we have the Predator on here. We have like Samara on here. So I might just expand it to just a character overall. How good they were as a character. Did they elevate the film? Were they iconic? Would that change y'all's vote on Jack Torrance, or would you still leave him in the decent? Because I'm thinking that the chat might be going just based on like iconic status, not necessarily like slasher efficiency.
If we're going just character, then he does move up some. But if we're going like a horror villain, he still stays there for me. Just because, I mean, was he effective as a horror villain? Not really. He killed one person, and that was an old guy. And he couldn't even track a little kid in the snow. So I mean, Yeah. I'm gonna go with Michael. I'm gonna put him in good just because I respect Nicholson's performance so much.
as that character. I think Eric made some really good points as far as like him not being an efficient killer, not being a good killer. But I also I love what Nicholson did with that character so much. All my vote is for good as well. But we still have 3 votes for great. Does anyone else want to vote and see where Jack Torrance should go? Now, I will say, as a movie, this isn't a factor, but just as a movie, The Shining is freaking, that's 5-star film for me, man. I love The Shining, man. But it's not movie, it's character.
I've always wondered how, like, if there's a way to, I haven't done many of these rankings. I've always thought about doing it as an average thing. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 6 categories. So if someone votes GOAT, they get 6 points. Someone votes great, they get 5 points. Someone votes good, they get 4 points. And then so you tally up all the votes, because right now, like, it's I'm seeing
like that.
Great would win. If we're just going based on votes, then Great would win, because Great's got 3 votes, Good has 2, and then
right,
Decent has 1. However, if we average them out, Good would win, because the 2 Goods and my Decent would bring down the Great average, I believe.
I like that. Yeah, let's do that. I don't think Pennywise won't change, because everyone voted great for Pennywise.
Yeah. Pennywise wouldn't change, but like, hold on, if we do it that way, and like I said, you got to do math. You got to do math.
I was just thinking that's a lot of math, especially like, let's say we throw one out and you got 1 great, 1 GOAT, 1 good, 1 not good, 1 failure. It's like, that
is a lot of math.
Jerry, get out your calculator. You're responsible.
Yeah, Jerry,
No,
this is you, man.
Oh, I was about to say, I can tell you exactly what it is.
What you got?
Divided, there's 6 votes. It would be 4.3. So if you round 4.3, that'd be the good category.
The good. So 4,
4 would go to good.
Okay. So let's throw Mr. Torrance on good. All right. That is where he's going to land. Next up, let's throw. I'm interested to see what you guys are going to do for this one. I'm going to throw up Leprechaun and see what you guys think of Leprechaun. Now, again, this is not the movies, the Leprechaun movies. We're just going the character himself. What are y'all's thoughts on Mr. Leprechaun?
I've never been a fan, dude. Just never really appealed to me. I think I stopped after Leprechaun 2. I mean, I'm from what I hear, I'm not missing much.
You're not,
but not good for me. But that comes down to preference. So yeah, I've just never been
not good
a fan. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Michael.
Eric, before
and I'm trying not to go too long on these, because we've got a ton of slashers to go through.
We've been
here for 40 minutes already, and we're on 3.
I'm just gonna say Michael's wrong. Leprechaun is great. You said you were not basing it on movies. Think about Leprechaun. Leprechaun's had how many movies now? What, 7 or 8? He's got so many fun, creative kills. He always comes back. Like, this dude had a freaking pot of gold magically appear in someone's stomach and burst it open from the inside. He put some dude under a spell to think he was about to kiss a girl when really he was sticking his face into a lawnmower. Like, the Leprechaun, I love the Leprechaun movies. Yeah, they're shitty. They're awful movies, but they're so much fun. Warwick Davis is a goddamn legend. Like, just for the kills alone and like the humor and shit behind it. And he's an effective slasher. He's killed probably 20, 30 times the amount of people that Jack Torrance has killed. And you can't say Warwick Davis's his character and his performance is any less iconic, because we all know shit from Leprechaun. So I'm going great, honestly.
I like how he starts off. Michael's opinion is wrong. like anyone's opinion could be wrong. You know what I mean?
I usually say it in a different way. You know what I usually say? I usually be like, hey, you know what? It's cool. It's America. You have the right to the wrong opinion. And then I know it's just an opinion, just having a good time, man.
I've just never liked it. You know what I mean? Like there's just some things that you like and some things that you don't. It's just I've just never been a fan of Leprechaun. But I know that there's fans out there. You know, like Eric, you're a fan of Leprechaun.
Dude, they're trash movies. They are. They're lowbrow trash movies, but they're so much fun. And they have some very fun, inventive kills.
Yeah. Yeah. Eric, before I cast my vote, we have, it looks like a vote for good, a vote for great. Michael went not good. You went great. So I think two votes for great, one vote for good, one vote for not good.
And then what's your vote?
My vote's gonna be decent. I'll meet you guys in the middle. So I do think he's a decent character. I am a big fan of the first Leprechaun movie. I like a lot. I think it's very rewatchable. He's decent because there are things about him that I do like. He is a very efficient killer. He does have a high RIP count. So he does, and he's pretty powerful. I mean, you know, as long as if he's got gold, man, he can do a lot of things. But I don't know that I would go any higher than decent because I don't know that there's a whole lot to him from just, you know, like a character standpoint. Like, is he really scary? Not really. Is he iconic? Arguable. I mean, is he, you know, intimidating? Not really. So for me, I like the first Leprechaun movie. Second one, I can get through. But as a character, I think I'd probably go decent for Leprechaun. Okay. And then Val just went not good for Leprechaun.
Okay, so that's all right. That takes it to a 3.5, which places it in decent.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, so he's staying there.
Decent.
We probably won't go through all these because
you could have a part 1 and a part 2.
Yeah, that's true. We can do a part 1 and part 2. Yeah. All right, next up, I'm going to throw up Annabelle. Annabelle is our next contestant. I think, Eric, you're up first this time.
I'm going to leave her in decent. Here's the thing. Annabelle isn't actually the villain. Annabelle's just a conduit for the villain, if you want to get technical. Annabelle's just a doll. She has a creepy appearance. She does, but she doesn't move a lot. She doesn't actually kill anyone. She's just kind of the face of the franchise, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But because she does have some creepiness to her, I'll leave her in decent. I'm not going to put her down to not good or failure. So yeah, I'll leave her decent.
Okay. All right, Michael, what about you?
I'm teetering between good and great. So are we basing these off the fact that, like, if something's possessed, are we saying that it's not like Annabelle? Like, are we doing that with these? Like, if we were to talk about like The Exorcist and Reagan,
right? Since
Reagan's really Pazuzu, it'd be like, well, you said Reagan, so Reagan's just a conduit. Yeah. So it's a terrible like Reagan's I would put under the great category. Right. So like, how are we doing that? Yeah.
So for like the paranormal ones, for Annabelle, for Reagan, anything that's like possessed or driven by something possessed, we'll just do we can base it on the effectiveness of the horror. So was like the Annabelle movies scary? Was the demon or the entity, whatever it is, working through her? Was it effective in its horror? Was the demon possessing Reagan? Was it effective in its horror? You know, because they're not really killing people, you know, but that's not what they're trying to do. Their focus is on the horror side of it. So I guess for the paranormal ones, we'll do like, how scary is it? How effective was the horror? If that makes sense.
Okay. If that's the case, I'm going to change my vote to good. because Annabelle is effective in that way. I'm just going by like as a horror villain.
Sure,
She's
I got you.
She's not very effective, but I will change my vote to good. And then I do see 2 greats in there as well.
Yep.
So
yeah. I'd have to go great at that point. Like, not a big fan of the first movie. You know, I didn't hate it. You know, I liked it better the second time I saw it. I've seen all 3 of the Annabelle movies in the theaters. I thought Annabelle Creation, that was one I thought was okay when I saw it in the theaters, but the more I've seen it, the more I like it. Annabelle to me, along with, you know, well, I don't want to say that just in case this other person's on here as well. I think Annabelle is a great character. I think that very recognizable, especially like if I go to like Matt's shop and everything, you see the amount of people there. He has his Annabelle doll in there, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" Because it's very lifelike. It's in the box. It has the case that it's in.
Do not open under any circumstances.
Dude, it's so cool. It's such a great idea. Annabelle's ruthless. I gotta go with great for Annabelle.
Nice. Okay.
That fingers, the fingers breaking when he's holding the cross, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's like,
yeah. In my opinion, the second one, Annabelle Creation, the prequel, is the best one. In my opinion,
yeah, like those fingers, dude. Like,
wait,
me and like Achilles and fingers and. You know, I'm jumping in the hole, bro. What's happening?
So in the story, though, was Annabelle supposed to be before? No, Annabelle Creation was supposed to be first, as far as like the timeline.
Yeah,
Annabelle
so there's
Creation.
Annabelle. Yeah, Annabelle is the story of is the doll. Is like the middle one. The first Annabelle movie is the middle. Then you got Annabelle Creation, which is the prequel. Then you got Annabelle Comes Home, which is actually the final part of the story where the Warrens get her home.
Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah, they pulled some Star Wars shit there and confused my ass.
Yeah, so it went 2-1-3.
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay, so we got another great. Melissa went great for Annabelle. My vote. I'm teetering between good and great as well. I'm gonna go great as well. I do think she's very effective because when it comes to like paranormal stuff like that, you have no idea how powerful whatever entity it is actually is and what all they can do. I don't like messing with things I can't see or that I can't figure out. And the effectiveness in the horror was absolutely there for me. Some people don't find paranormal stuff like that all that entertaining or scary. I do. So yeah, my vote is great as well.
Was that Creation when the kid was hiding underneath the stairs and you saw Annabelle and you could see the demon? Oh my god!
Yeah.
What was the one with the well where there's the well?
That was Creation.
The same one, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Creation is the best one. Like, Annabelle Comes Home. If you think about it, nothing actually happens. Like, no one is actually hurt. No one actually dies. Everyone just gets scared and then it's over.
Was that the one with the werewolf?
Yeah. Like she's and the TV that shows you like 3 to 4 seconds in the future. There's a bunch of scares. Nothing actually happens. Like there's no change.
You're right, dude. You're 100% right. But I had fun with that one, and I think that the reason I did was because the Warrens were in it. Believe it or not, I think that's why I liked it so much. And I really love that scene where Ed's working on the car, and he gets pushed over to the car that almost fucking runs him over. I'm like, holy shit. And she's sitting there reading that paper and looks up, and they're right next to that graveyard, and there's all those people. Dude, that shit was fun. But Creation, you're right, dude. It took me some time to get there. But I agree. Creation is the best out of the 3 for sure.
And there's another, just random really quick. There's another series like that where the prequel is actually better than the first one. And that's Ouija. I don't know if you ever watched Ouija, but there's Ouija, then there's Ouija Origin of Evil. Origin of Evil leaps and bounds better than the first.
That came out like 2009 to 12-ish area, right?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I
got Lynn Shay in it. It's got Lynn Shay in a cameo, who's like horror royalty at this point.
Right.
She is.
Really quick on the scores, are we rounding up or down, or are we just taking whatever the number is?
I say 0.5. We should round up, right?
Okay,
yeah, that's fair.
If that's
0.5
the
round up.
case,
Yeah.
if that's the case, then Annabelle's going to great. If that's not the case, if we're just taking it, then Annabelle would go to good.
No, I like that. I think if it's 0.5 or higher, we'll round up. So we'll put Annabelle to great.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So Annabelle going to great. I need to go back and watch the Annabelle movies again, because typically if I want to watch a movie in the Conjuring universe, I'm just going to throw out either Conjuring 1 or 2.
Those are damn good movies.
Creation.
Yeah.
Creation is a banger, man.
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah,
I rated the Conjuring franchise with the memes, like you did, Michael.
Yeah.
Like Creation is up there.
Yeah, I believe mine was too. Shit, I haven't looked at that in a while.
I was about to say, Clayton, if you don't do those, you should do those shorts because they're very popular.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
I need
about.
to. Yeah, I need to. I need to get on that. All right. It is time to throw up one of the big three. Michael's going to get excited here. I'm throwing up Jason.
Hey, Eric, it got a woo. That's what it got.
I don't remember what mine got.
I just had to look. I just had to look right now.
Really quick, Clayton. You just said the big three. Who's the big three?
Michael, Jason, Freddy.
See, no love for Leatherface, even though he came first. That's what I'm talking about. That's the shit I'm talking about.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's funny.
Okay.
All right, we're going Jason. We know Michael's going to go GOAT for Jason.
That's why it's everything. He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. Dude, who was he talking about on that? Do you know?
I think he was talking about, I want to say Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. I was thinking it has to be either like a Tom Brady or a Michael Jordan or something like that. He's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Okay, so Michael, are you actually going to vote, or are you just saying GOAT and that's it?
Oh, that's all I got to say.
Okay, yeah. I think we all know.
All time.
I'm just saying, there's already a great in the chat. So
yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's GOAT, obviously. Like if there's a Mount Rushmore of slashers, you got a really good chance that Jason is going to be on there, and there's a reason for that. For me, Jason does it best. When I talk about my Mount Rushmore, I got Leatherface because I think he's the first to do it. I got Jason because I think he's the best to do it. I got Freddy because I think he's the most unique to do it. And I got Ghostface because he's my actual favorite.
Wow, I like that. I like how you did that. That's interesting. I like that.
So,
I give Jason the Bret Hart aspect.
Bret Hart.
He's the best there is.
It's
the best there was,
and the best there ever will be. Can you imagine if Jason put somebody in the sharpshooter? How awesome that would be.
He'd break their back.
I mean, if you watch Never Hack Alone, he did choke slam someone.
He did.
Close where he bent the guy backwards. I mean, same effect, right? Same effect.
Dude, I just watched part 6 the other night. Dude, that scene that's savage, bro. I love part 6.
Behind the Mask, bro. Anytime I hear that song, it's like CJ Graham standing there with him.
Yeah.
Dude, I also like in Freddy vs. Jason, I think it's really underrated how he comes out. The dude's laying in bed after. He stabs him and then he just folds the bed.
Dude, that one's so good.
Oh, it's one of the you just see the dude twitching, which I love. I don't know why twitching is so effective in a kill. Like if you see the dude,
it is.
It's many Friday the 13th problems that I have with Freddy versus Jason. I don't have a lot of nightmare problems with that movie, but the Friday the 13th, that is not one of them. That's top 5 kills, Jason kills of all time for me. When he bends that guy in half, dude. And I absolutely love the Jason kill in that one, where that dude's poking at him and he just turns his head around real fast. And then slowly looks over to the other guy like he's like talking shit, motherfucker. Like he just slowly looks over, dude. He's like, you still talking.
By the way, I just checked on my my Conjuring creation. It was the Homelander. It was like it was perfect.
You are every
minute detail.
Not wrong.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, so we got 2 goats from Michael and I.
2 goats. Val's saying goat. Jerry's saying great.
And Melissa said great.
Okay. So I will also go great.
Great?
For
not
me.
Go?
I will go great for me. It's still a very good rating, and he's a great slasher.
Let's not forget he's the overrated one. Let's not.
That's true. That's true.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't going to mention it, but
okay. So there were 6 votes. Oh, okay. So that comes out to 5.5 exactly, which means it does go into the GOAT category.
Wow.
It does go into the GOAT category.
Okay. All right. Jason is GOAT. He is GOAT status. The people have spoken.
If there was one more great vote, he would have been knocked down to the great. But here's the thing, though, y'all. When you're voting, I just want you to keep in mind. Look who else you would have been putting Jason in a category with. You're trying to tell me Jason and Annabelle are in the same category?
That's why Jack Torrance couldn't go any higher than that, dude. Like, I couldn't put him with Pennywise when it comes to that stuff. Like, that's something I always keep in mind when I look at these.
Yeah, it's like there's no way I could sleep at night comfortably knowing I voted Jason Voorhees in the same vein as freaking Annabelle the doll. Come on, y'all.
That's funny. That's awesome. All right, so we got our first GOAT. It is Jason. Next up, I'm gonna throw an interesting one up. I'm gonna throw Mr.
Sam
into the mix. I think Eric, you're up first this time, or is it Michael? I forget.
I think it'd be me this time. Right. I'll go good. Like we still haven't gotten a sequel, but people are clamoring for it. So he's got to go better than decent. Excuse me. He's interesting. He's creepy, but my thing with the reason I can't go any higher than good is because you know how to survive Sam. You just don't break the rules. If you don't break the rules, He leaves you alone. There you go. So I'll go good with Sam. That's about as high as I think he could go.
Okay. Yeah. Michael, what about you?
I'm gonna agree with Eric on this one, and Sam will, I believe he should go to good. Sam, look, guys, like Sam is. You said it. A lot of people want more Trick or Treat. I want more Trick or Treat.
I do too.
I love the character of Sam, dude. I do, but we just haven't seen enough of him. What can Sam do? Like, I've seen interviews to where, the creator of Trick or Treat was saying, every year after Halloween, Sam disintegrates, and he turns into a little seed, and that little seed goes into the ground, and a new Sam comes every Halloween. Like, that was a great way. I guess he didn't really think that there was going to be any more Trick or Treat when he gave that interview.
Right.
But I think Sam is fascinating, man. I think he's a perfect Halloween story fit. I hope we get to see more of them because I would love to put Sam in the great category. But for right now, he's definitely got to go in good. And I'll tell you what, man, he's vicious. Like, he can be vicious, man. Like, seriously.
Yeah. Sam doesn't mess around, dude. I love Trick or Treat, man. I love that movie so much. It's so fun. It's such a fun movie. It is so much fun. You give me a Halloween like setting with werewolves and comedy and horror and everything. Dude, I am all about it. And Sam, the first time I saw it, I couldn't figure him out. I didn't know what he was, who he was, what his mojo was. I didn't know. But then you get to the end, you're like, dude, I like that guy. He won me over. He won me over real quick. So, but you guys make some good points. I would really love to throw him in great, but we just don't have enough on him for me to go there. So I'm gonna do a high good with potential to go into great with more content later on. Yeah. So.
I'll tell you what, man, there's nothing better than seeing like a little 5-year-old with a Sam suit on at a convention.
Oh, no.
Because you're always like, look at that little guy right there.
I know.
It's so
like,
good.
look at that. That's perfect.
You know the parents raising them right.
Yeah, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like how I feel when I see like a miniature Jason and it's like all decked out. He's like, this kid's like 6. No, he's never seen a Jason movie in his life, but man, he's killing it.
He's rocking it.
That's what I'm talking about.
At Scarefest last year, it was my favorite experience I had at Scarefest last year. I did a cosplay my first day as Rob Zombie's Michael Myers.
Oh, nice.
And I got so many requests for photos from people. And there was this woman who had a little kid. This kid, maybe 4 or 5 years old, had his Michael costume on. Full Michael cosplay at like 4 or 5 years old. And she's like, will you take a picture with him? So like I had to like bend down to get into the same photo as him. And dude, it was just so cool. Like that was the coolest experience I had. But
that's awesome.
I love when kids participate in it. Just so we know, 3.66666 for this one. So that puts Sam in the good category.
Okay.
Just over the threshold.
Awesome. Yeah, I was gonna thank you for keeping up with that, Eric, because I was gonna ask you if you got the count. So
yeah, man, I got it. I love keeping up with stuff like that. It's a weird part of my brain. I love polls and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so Sam is good. Sam is good. All right, next up, we're gonna throw another slasher icon up here, Mr. Chucky. Mr. Chucky. Michael, where is Chucky going for you, man?
For me,
an internal debate.
Well, for me, he's going to great. Okay, I love the original Child's Play very much. I know that he has a huge fan base, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up in GOAT status. And I would have no problem with it being there. But for me and my preference and everything, I put Chucky's great. He's definitely a household name. He's definitely on, not mine, but probably a lot of people's Mount Rushmore of horror. That wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. So he's going to go great for me. Definitely great. And, depending on what type of Chucky fan you are, there's a movie for you. And not only is there a movie for you, now there's a series. So Chucky's definitely GOAT status to talk about. Just in preference for me, I put him under great.
Right. Melissa's going not good. Melissa. Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna affect it.
It is wild
card, bro.
It is a wild card coming in without wild card, man. Eric, what you got?
Oh, Peter Anthony. What's up, Peter?
Hey, Peter's in the chat.
Bro, I am so excited about Laugh. Cannot wait.
Oh, dude. That trailer looked awesome for Laugh, dude.
Okay, so Peter's saying great, so that's a 5. And then we got Jerry saying decent, which is
interesting.
Man, these are gonna...
I thought Jerry would go at least good for Chucky. That's surprising.
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna go great as well. Chucky, I can understand why people put him on the GOAT status. You got, in my opinion, man, if you've lasted this long, there's an argument to be made for your GOAT status.
True.
I mean, he's lasted since the 80s. He's got countless movies. He's got a TV show and a successful TV show. Let's realize, take that into effect. It's a successful TV show, which no other slasher has had. The closest one was Scream, and it really wasn't even that successful. But Freddy had a TV show, didn't do great. Michael's getting one, Jason's getting one. They'll probably do better now, but in my opinion, once you go to TV, it's usually a downside from there. But Chucky's somehow gotten better in that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say great for myself. But like Michael said, he was right on point. I can understand if it goes to GOAT. I know it's not going to, but I can understand.
Yeah, I got to go great for me as well. My vote's going great. I do love Chucky. A lot of it for me is out of my love for Brad Dourif, who's just a freaking legend, man. I love that guy. One of the greatest actors of our generation, just phenomenal talent. He brought so much to that Chucky voice too. Oh, so good. I've
just finished season 1 of Chucky. I started watching it for my Patreon, and I was watching the first episode and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's not bad. The second I heard Chucky laugh, I'm like, oh, there it is. That pulled me in. That laugh, that Brad Dourif. We have a surprising result, though. Because of the decent and the not good votes, that was enough to bring the average down to 4.2, which means Chucky is going in the good category.
Wow.
Chucky only makes it to the good tier. That's what I love about averages. That's what I love about averages, because we all wanted great. Some people wanted much lower, but now we're settling right in the middle because that's where the average takes it. So there you go.
Democracy coming through, man. I love it.
I'll tell you guys one last thing about Chucky, and I always mention this when I talk about Child's Play or Chucky. Like, to me, it's always that scene in the first one where she's about to throw him in the fire, and he turns around like, "You stupid bitch."
Oh, I know.
Like, oh my god, dude! Like, you are freaking killing me with that. Like, the whole face changes. It goes from being a toy to a freaking person, man. And it's just like, wow. Like,
and like the first time you see that and she checks and there's no batteries. Oh, dude, that scene's so good. And then he just starts speaking out of nowhere. Yeah, that first Child's Play is so good, man. Love that one. All right, next up, we're gonna go to a top 5 for me. Top 5 horror character in Mr. Hannibal Lecter. Love this guy. My vote, Eric, I'll just tell you, my vote is going GOAT for me. I freaking love Hannibal Lecter. Anthony Hopkins got that statue, well deserved. He just, I don't even know where to start with Hannibal. He's GOAT. He's GOAT status for me. I love that character.
Okay. Who goes first? Is this Michael or me?
I think it's Eric. Yeah.
Okay. He's going GOAT for me too. Like, you mentioned Anthony Hopkins. Obviously, we also got Brian Cox, who played him in Manhunter in '86.
Right.
A completely different performance, but still fucking amazing in its own right. Then you got Mads Mikkelsen playing him in the TV show. Bro, like, he has not had a bad actor or a bad performance in his on-screen career. And he's so intelligent. He's terrifying in a different way than any other person on this list almost.
Yeah.
Because
he may be the smartest of anyone on here.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was, because he's just, man, he's just, like I said, he's terrifying in a different way. He will take you down using just intellect alone. And the part in I forget which one it was, but like Ray Liotta, he's literally feeding Ray Liotta a part of his own. Hannibal. There you go, with Gary Oldman. He's literally feeding Ray Liotta part of his own brain, bro.
Dude, and that scene is so disturbing.
It is, dude. He's just, like I said, GOAT for me too. I think if we're talking slashers, I don't know if I'd put him on GOAT, but if we're talking just horror villain characters, he's gotta be up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah.
Michael, what you got?
For me, the character of Hannibal Lecter, like, one of the things I love so much. The thing that did disappoint me about Hannibal was Jodie Foster didn't come back. Like, for some reason that bugged me with the movie. You know, over time, you know, all wounds heal. But you know, Hannibal Lecter, dude, and you brought up Mads Mikkelsen in the TV show. Dude, you got to see Hannibal from a whole nother side with that show. And it just made me love the character even more. Hannibal Lecter, from a movie villain standpoint, is a GOAT. Like, he's got to be up there 100%. Hannibal really brought that out for me. Not that he wasn't already with Silence of the Lambs, Red Dragon, and Hannibal. Like, yeah, it was fantastic. But you really didn't get to see him on the outside world as cynical. You did in Hannibal, especially when he fed that guy to the pigs. And he's like, so-and-so, just tell him I did it. You know what I mean? Like, that shit's crazy. But so good. Dude, greatest of all time. If you haven't seen the TV show with Mads Mikkelsen, put that on the top of your list, guys.
Dear God, make another season. If the powers that be are watching,
they want to. Like, they have gotten together so many times. Like, the way that ended, and I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. It was just like, we could go either way here. We could really go either way here. But
I also love the guy who plays Will in that show. Like he does such a good job. That show severely underrated, y'all. Go watch it.
Man. It is. And they give it to you from a different perspective, and you actually get to meet more of Will.
Yeah.
And you get to know Will a little better, a little more than you did in Red Dragon. It's so good, man. So good.
Yeah, I'm seeing a few. I see Jerry's going GOAT. Val's going great. I don't know if Melissa's voted yet.
Yeah, I don't think Melissa's voted. She might not be here any further. As of right now, we are. As of right now, we're firmly in the GOAT tier.
Okay.
So, unless Melissa comes in with a vote to, a very low, like failure or not good vote, we're staying in the GOAT tier. So I think it's safe to move him up there.
Yeah, wild card. You never know what she's gonna do. So we better play it safe and put him in GOAT now while we have the chance.
Dude, whenever we say wild card, it makes me think of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where Charlie cuts the brakes to their van and he's in the back seat. And he's like, "Oh my god, the brakes don't work!" And fucking Charlie goes, "Wild card, bitches!" And he jumps out the back because he cut the brakes while they were all in the car.
I've never watched that show.
Oh my god!
No, oh man,
good, dude. It's so good. Wow.
I haven't seen it in years, but yeah, it is good.
Jumps out the back because they always called Charlie the wild card.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome.
Out the van.
All right. Next up, we're gonna go Mr. Underrated for Eric, Mr. Leatherface, and overrated for Michael. So I'm interested to see where old Leatherface, Mr. Sawyer, Thomas Sawyer, or Hewitt.
Or Slaughter.
Or Slaughter.
Let's decide on a last name. I mean, it's so
yeah. Let's get your name first, solidified first. Michael, I think you're up. Where's Leatherface going?
Leatherface as a character. Okay. I know that for a lot of people, he's going to end on the GOAT status. It is great for me. Like when I look at. It depends on which iteration of Leatherface it is, man, because Gunnar Hansen, killing it, dude. Totally feeling it. Then you go to part 2, and I'm like, he's got a chainsaw on his crotch, and he's just wiggling it stretch, and then he saves her, and then, he gets checked in, and what was that one where the McConaughey had the remote control leg?
Next Generation.
Next Generation.
Yeah, or sit down, and he's like, okay. And it's just like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here?
You sit the fuck down.
Yeah,
I didn't ask Clayton. Is it okay to curse on your channel?
Yeah, then no, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, I didn't ask, but yeah. Renee Zellweger, you sit the fuck down.
Yeah, and he's just like, okay, like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? As a character, though, he's iconic. I could go. I am towing the line between great and good. Or great and GOAT, but it's just like, man, there's just so many in there that is just so like I can be on the highest of highs, and then I can just be like, what are we doing here? You've got a character that's supposed to be one of the icons, and you can't even give him a constant last name, or have the same family, or be in the same area. Like, where the fuck is this guy, dude? Like, it doesn't start really making sense to me until the 2003 remake and the prequel to that one.
Yeah.
And there's just so many moments in this, franchise where I'm just like, I'm either hell yeah, this is the shit, or I'm just like, I would rather bang my head against the wall than watch 5 more minutes of this movie or these movies. So after the remake and stuff, I'm like, okay, we're on the right page. And then you go to the one, what was the one where the girl inherited the house and
3D.
Thank
3D.
You. And then at the end, she's like, get him, cuz I will, like I was ready for it to be over. That was the breaking point for me to where I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm good.
You're good. Yeah.
Good. I'm gonna go great with Leatherface, and not based off of what the character is himself, but just the inconsistency. Like, I feel like I don't know the guy, because you can know 3 different people, or 5 or 7 at this point. Apparently, it's just all over the place for me, man.
Yeah,
for
I
the
gotcha.
franchise.
So you're going great?
I will go great. I know he's a
okay.
GOAT style character, but because of the
Sure.
movies like that, it's just the inconsistencies and really knowing who the hell he is.
Yeah, that's fair. Eric, what do you got?
GOAT. That is all.
Goat. Wow. There you go. Hey, you're not alone. Val's going goat. Jerry's going goat.
Yep.
Wow. All right.
So we've got
Leatherface
3
getting some love.
goats, 1 great.
Yeah.
And you've got 1 wrong turn. Let's not forget about
I was about to say 1 wrong turn.
Jerry's coming through with his wrong turn. I'm going great as well, and it's largely because a lot of the points that Michael was making, just the inconsistency. And for me, it's like when Leatherface is done right, which is by Andrew Bernarski,
Fantastic.
Goat status for me. But when you get what we got in Next Generation, we're going kick rocks, failure at life, So it's like there's such a gap between the best of what we get with Leatherface and the worst of what we get with Leatherface, that although when I think of Leatherface, I think Andrew Bernarski. And to me, that version of Leatherface is GOAT status.
100%.
But because I'm also self-aware of the fact that we have these other horrible interpretations of that character, the character as a whole for me would end up in the great, because of the fact that you even have some movies where he kind of gets sidelined by the rest of the family. And he's not even the front man. Like TCM2, that's Chop Top's movie, like he kind of steals that one from Leatherface. And Leatherface, you could argue in TCM2 is kind of a good guy. I mean, he's helping Stretch get out,
And that's something that always happens with Leatherface. So Leatherface was never, and if watch the first one, he's never like all in all a bad guy. He's mistreated, abused by his family into thinking he has to do these things to survive.
Yeah, and that's fair. I just think that like when you have the interpretation that Andrew Bernarski had, what they did with him in that one, that's when he's at his scariest, he's at his most brutal. That's not a Leatherface I ever want to meet, ever come across. So yeah, overall as a character, I would go great. But when he's done at his best, he is GOAT status for me.
Okay. Well, Melissa did come in with a great as well.
Oh, there you go.
Which brings it right down to the point of 5.5, which means he does make it to GOAT.
Wow.
Because
all right.
0.5 and up is rounded up. So it was a 5.6, and then Melissa voted with 5. That brought it down to 5.5. So
that's wild card, man. She comes in with those wild cards. You never know where she's going. All right. So we got Leatherface down. I'm gonna throw up one of Eric's favorites. I'm gonna go Ghostface. This one should be interesting because there's so many ways to go about looking and grading Ghostface as a character. But I think, Eric, you're actually up first. So where is Ghostface going for you?
Ghostface is going GOAT. I don't think there's any question for me that they're a greatest of all time. They the movie reinvented the horror genre, the slasher subgenre at the time. Like go back to any movie that came out like late 90s, early 2000s, any slasher, they were all copying Scream and its formula. Ghostface, it's obviously multiple characters, and I think that actually works to its benefit. Yeah, there's been a couple characters and I'm like, really, you're a Ghostface? But because of that, you get different, you get different performances because it's a different person every time. The voice is so iconic. Like, think about that line, what's your favorite scary movie? That's fucking worldwide now. Because of that movie. Yeah. Like, and the Ghostface is a villain that has an open love for other horror movies, which I think is a positive. Like, you can't really, in my opinion, you can't say Ghostface is any lower than GOAT. But people will, and Jerry,
hey, Val's with you. Val's going
Jerry,
goat.
you bite your tongue, man.
Jerry's going decent.
Okay.
All right. Michael,
decent.
what about you?
Well, I've never said that Ghostface was an actual character. Ghostface is an idea, taken on by many people. You know what I mean? So the mask, the voice, iconic. It is GOAT status. It is. Like Scream or not, it is 100%. Ghostface is, believe it or not, it may surprise you, Eric, is on my Mount Rushmore because of what that character did for horror. I do think that it belongs there. Now, I'm not the biggest fan once you get into Scream 3 and above. More of a purist when it comes to Scream. Very curious to see what this new Scream does. Because of that, I feel like the only option that franchise has at this point is to go back to its roots. So I'm curious how far back they go, because they have no other option whatsoever, based upon their current state and how big of a fan everyone is of Spyglass right now.
Right.
But, as a character, 100%, it's got to go GOAT status. Well, as a horror, I still don't think it's a character. I think it's an idea. It's character.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same guy coming back every time.
Yeah, this would be completely different if we were rating like Wayne Bailey from Part 6.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's just Ghostface as a whole.
Yeah,
and that's I don't have the same issues with this that I have with Leatherface, because it's trying to do this.
Yeah,
right.
Leatherface.
Right.
You can look at the shittiest Halloween movie, the shittiest Friday movie, the shittiest Nightmare movie, and guess what? It's still Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, and Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
But Texas,
I mean, unless it's Roy Burns.
Well, yeah, we all have those. You know what I mean? We all have the wannabe
Or Buster Rhymes.
I'm gonna be nice what I say, because he is gonna be at Scarefest. And I am excited to meet Tom Morga.
Wait,
it's a
Roy Burns is going to be at Scarefest?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Roy Burns!
Wow.
I got to make a Roy Burns mask now.
Yes, he is. It's 5 Jasons, bro. If you count him,
That's awesome.
It's 5. I'm so fucking excited. But yeah, I got to put him in GOAT status for sure. Ghostface.
Okay. Looks like Melissa's also going GOAT. I will go GOAT as well for me. And this was an interesting. I was thinking whether or not to hold off on him, because, like Michael said, it's kind of hard to grade him, because there are different people playing Ghostface. Like, there's not one Ghostface, but I do think there is a consistency through all 6 movies in the manifestation of Ghostface being, one, a killer that is going to come at you with a knife, is going to stab you, play games with you, mess with your head, have that voice. So there are elements of that idea or manifestation that is consistently there through the 6 movies that I do think gives you enough to say, all right, this is Ghostface as a character. These are certain things that do need to be there for the character. And based on that,
the voice and the mask are the GOAT status.
Right.
Not so much what's under it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to go GOAT as well for me.
I think that's a clean sweep for GOAT. That's every single person who voted. Yeah. Melissa said GOAT, Jerry, Val, all 3 of us. Yeah. That's GOAT. GOAT across the board.
All right. Awesome. Ghostface going in GOAT. Okay, I'm gonna throw up another one here. This one's gonna get interesting, because this guy's not really slasher. Some might argue not really even horror, but I'm gonna go with Mr. Predator. Michael, I think you're taking this one first. Where does Predator land for you?
I have an idea where it's gonna land for Michael.
Just put that right up next to Ghostface. It's the Predator.
Oh man.
Look, I'm not a big fan of all the movies, but damn it, that character is one of the coolest motherfuckers to ever grace the screen. Like, it's the Predator. Like, come on, you guys.
Nice.
Like, I don't feel like I need to say anything else. Like, the sound, dude. Like, just you could hear that sound and be like, that's a damn Predator.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh God, there's just so much that's so cool about the Predator movies. Like, and the character itself is iconic to me.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Nice. Eric, what about you, man?
I'm teetering between great and GOAT because Michael's absolutely right. You can't deny how badass the Predator is, and the different iterations of him. Like you see different, like slightly different versions building this mythos behind them, and you do get some backstory of them in different movies and stuff like that. And bro, when you see the Predator reach into someone's back and rip out their spine and skull still attached, and then do that like primal animalistic just roar,
so good.
I've got two different Predators screaming in my live opening because it's that iconic. And then of course the classic Arnold line, but
yeah.
I've actually got two Predator clips as well where he's standing up and you hear that I can't even make the noise. It doesn't happen.
It almost sounds like a rattlesnake,
like
kind of
licking,
a
dude. Like
it's
so good.
Yeah, you know what? What's funny to me right now is I'm looking at the board and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the board. I'm like, there's no way I put Predator with Annabelle the doll. And I can't go lower than Annabelle the doll. You can't do that. So yeah, Predator's got to go GOAT for me too. I'll give it GOAT.
Yeah, I gotta go GOAT as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I can't put him with Annabelle either. So yeah, I mean, Predator. You think like just all of the savage kills that he has throughout his movies, the fact that he can make himself invisible, you can't even see his ass, he can just come out of nowhere. Plus, he's incredibly hard to beat, super iconic. I mean, he kind of checks all the boxes. So yeah, for me, he's got to go GOAT.
Okay, Jerry's saying great. Melissa said she doesn't like him, but she didn't give a tier. So
yeah,
Melissa, let us know what tier you want him in. As of right now, he's firmly in GOAT.
Melissa could
knock him down a tier.
Yeah. Wild card, what you got? Where are you going?
Wild card. Bro, just so you know, while we're at Scarefest this year, Michael, I'm gonna fuck with you. Just do something, wild card and run off.
Wild card.
What's the best for don't like? I would say not good because he's not a failure. Do you think not good or decent?
Yeah, Melissa. If you think he's just a failure, like just doesn't work at all as a horror, then put failure. But if you just don't like him, maybe not a fan, then just not good.
You know what I think would be a good idea about Scarefest, Eric? Is if Peter Anthony shows up there and promotes Laugh.
Bro, Peter.
That would be a great idea.
I would love to meet you, Peter, man. Like, show up to Scarefest and I'll buy you a beer, dude. I'd love to meet you talking in person.
I think that would be a great idea.
Would be.
Melissa, there are failure, not good, decent, good, great, GOAT. Those are the options that we have.
Yeah.
Clayton, any chance you make it to Scarefest this year, my man?
Man, I want to go to the one in Kentucky, meet a few Michaels, man. Nick Castle, James Shoe Courtney, my favorite Michael. I definitely want to make it to that one. But my schedule is about to get super crazy coming up in April because I got accepted into film school.
Oh, shit, dude, where at?
Yeah, it's online with Full Sail University.
I got a friend who went through that. Like, I got a veteran friend who went through that. Yeah,
that's awesome, dude. Yeah,
he's a cinematographer in Tennessee.
Yeah, that's my degree, visual arts, which is certified DP cinematographer. So yeah, I start classes in April for that. So going for a bachelor's degree, which is 27 months. So they condense a 4-year program into essentially 2 years. You just do 27 months straight. So So once my classes start, my schedule is just going to be incredibly busy. So I don't know how much free time I'm going to have, but I definitely want to get to the one in October. That's the one in Kentucky, right? The one in October.
That's Scarefest. That's the one we're talking about.
Yeah, that's to me, that's the only one that really matters. I'm going to other ones, but dude, it's like no, like that's
dude, I gotta get to that one, man. I gotta get that one,
bro. So Val also came in with a decent.
Oh wow,
that dropped it almost to good with Melissa's scores, but we're in great. No, we're in great. It came down to 4.6, so we're still in great, but just by a hair.
Wow,
by a hair.
All right, so, Predator's going in great, man. That's crazy,
and that's why I love average them, man, because you got no clue where it's going to be.
Yeah, you really don't. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, we'll go a couple more here. All right, you know what? It's time for another one of the big three. Mr. Kruger's up the bat. Freddie. Who's up? I think Michael is up first.
No, I went first with Predator, and I believe the only thing I said was "Ooh."
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So Eric, you're up for Freddie.
Okay. I had a little rant on someone else's channel just a little while back where I just went off on Freddie, and I pretty much was like, Freddie's a little bitch. And I stand by everything I said about that. I was like, you think about Michael, think about Jason, you think about any of them, with the exception of Pennywise. Freddie goes after little kids.
He does.
And he does some pretty skeevy things. I'm like, in real life, Freddie's a bitch.
Yeah,
Like if you think about his horror character, obviously he goes after like older people in the, once he gets his powers. But like in real life, before he's like, when he's still Fred Krueger and before he's Freddy, I'm like, but he's on my Mount Rushmore for a reason because he has such a unique story.
Yeah,
and there's just a menacing quality about him that I think that you don't find in a lot of others. So and the terrifying thought of not being able to defend yourself at all because it's in a dream.
Man. Yeah.
So for me, Freddy's going GOAT. He's going GOAT.
Okay. Nice. Michael, what you got?
Yeah, he's on my Mount Rushmore as well. He brought personality to the slasher. He brought swag to the slasher. You know what I mean? There's just iconic ways of him just standing somewhere, the way he's holding the glove,
Right.
And love the movies or hate them, the character itself is purely iconic and definitely belongs in GOAT status.
Yeah. I will I'll go agree with both of y'all and go GOAT. Freddy's in my top 5 favorite horror characters of all time. Love Freddy, man. Grew up with him. He's one of the few horror characters that was around when I was growing up. Scared me. That first Nightmare scared me quite a bit. And Robert Englund just brought so much charisma and so much personality to that character. I don't think any other horror character has as much of an iconic silhouette as Freddy. Like you just see that Freddy silhouette, you know exactly who that is. He's got one of the most iconic weapons, that glove. You just see that glove, you know who's coming. And he's unavoidable. There's absolutely no way to avoid him. I mean, everybody sleeps, and once you're out, Freddy's coming for you. So I love Freddy as a character. He's going GOAT status for me.
All right. Val also said GOAT, and then Melissa said not good.
Oh, Melissa.
I think Melissa wild card is gonna. Oh, I think that's gonna drop it at least one tier. So we got 5 votes. We got us 3 for. I just want to make sure I got everyone. Us 3 for GOAT. Right. Val for GOAT. Melissa. So there's 5.
I think Jerry's going GOAT too.
Oh, Yeah, Jerry is going to go. Okay, so that's probably going to help us a bit.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to be enough to keep it in goat though. Divided by 6. Nope. That takes it to a 5.3. So Freddie is going great.
Oh man, that one hurts. All right, Mr. Kruger's going in great.
So Clayton, are you aware of Steven over at Craven Something Scary?
No, not. Okay, I don't think so.
His channel, Craven Something Scary, he's a pretty popular guy. He's a really good guy, but he does these sometimes, and when he opens, he says, "And I just want to lay out the basic rule that this is my channel. So if there's something I don't agree with, I'm just going to change it." So,
I like that. Good man. I like that. Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, so oh man, that's the first shock I've seen.
Yeah, that one hurts, man, because I love me some Freddy. We'll go a couple more, if that's all right, and then we'll probably wrap it up, and then we can always do a part 2 later on if y'all are good for that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can save it, like you can leave it in this. It'll save just the way it is, and we come back and jump right back to the same part.
Okay, awesome. So next up, I'm gonna throw up another character from Conjuring universe, the nun. We're gonna go with the nun, Valak. What say y'all? I'm just gonna get a cord real quick for my computer, but I think Michael is up.
Michael, you first.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got a message here. Huh. Okay. I have to confirm that. That's huge news if it's true. Who are we on? I'm sorry, Valak.
Valak.
Hate the movies, love the character. Valak is a great character. I wouldn't put her on the same level as Jason and Hannibal Lecter, but definitely on the same level as Pennywise, Annabelle. I really don't agree with the other two that are there, so I'll leave them nameless. But I love the character Valak. I really do. I really wish the movies were better, because as a character, hard as hell to beat. You got to have like Jesus's toe to kill it. You know what I mean? First it was Jesus's blood. The second time it was the saint's eyes. So you got to have something to put her down. She's not easy to go down. I find that ridiculous. The movies are such trash. But yeah, the character itself is great. Yes.
Jesus' toe.
Yeah, dude, you gotta have something.
Oh my god,
but the character's fantastic. Just the story sucks.
The big question is good. Which toe?
Yeah, I was about to say it's gotta be the
pinky. We need the pinky.
It's gotta be the pinky from the left foot. Yeah. Pinky from the left foot.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Oh geez, that was
bandage. Jesus, blood in the wall. I mean, you gotta be freaking kidding me.
Oh man.
What a terrible movie. Well, both of them were terrible, but at the end of the day, character-wise, fantastic.
Great character-wise, I just remember how terrifying they were in the Conjuring
2.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
So that whole scene behind the painting and the running forward. Oh, so good.
Okay, so we already got a good from Jerry, which is a 4. We got a great from Val, which is a 5. We got a not good from Melissa. Man, Melissa's just
wild card, man.
Yeah, Melissa's wild carding it. Then you got you said great, right, Michael?
Yes.
You said a great. I'm gonna go great as well. Like just purely based on Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
Absolutely great. They kind of destroyed the mythos a little bit when it gets to the Nun movies. I don't mind the Nun 1. It wasn't my favorite. It was a little boring, but I didn't mind it. I have not seen the Nun Part 2 because I never heard anything good about it. But because of the Conjuring 2 and like them as a character, I'm gonna go great as well. So that's a 5 from me.
All right. Jerry just went good.
It is funny though how in the Conjuring 2 all she had to do was know Valak's name, and I do know your name. You are Valak, the Marquis of Snakes.
Yeah, that was weird, right?
It was over. But yet, in the Nun 1 and the Nun 2, you had to have Jesus juice and you had to have Saint's eyes. So it's just like, why don't you just say its name? If it worked in The Conjuring, much easier.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a little
You gotta have a
inconsistent
MacGuffin.
there. Right.
You gotta have your MacGuffin.
Yeah, have a toe, man. It has to be the right toe.
I'm gonna go good as well. I'm gonna go with Jerry on this one and go good. I think that as far as looks and horror, I mean, she is a pretty scary chick, but there's not really a whole lot to her. She doesn't really have a personality. She's only as powerful as whatever demon it is that that's controlling her, and as long as you know their name, you can beat her. I in the movies, again, the Nun movies, I can take or leave. But out of respect for the Conjuring universe, and because she does look pretty good, I'll go good for Miss Valak.
All right, that puts us at a 4.1666. So that puts her solely in the good category.
All right.
Good.
Is it ironic that her number was 4.666? I mean, that's
yeah, those 666s, they come in pretty often.
Right. All right, we'll go one more here. I'm going to end this part 1 phase with another one of my favorites, the Creeper himself, Mr. Creeper, Jeepers Creepers. Who I think, did Michael go first last time? I think Eric's up for the Creeper.
I'll go first. The Creeper is I love the Creeper, honestly. I think the movies, obviously, after 2 don't exist to me. They don't.
Right.
1 and 2 though, like, I think I'm in a weird camp where I actually prefer the second one. I think there's just something about it. Like, you have the family fighting back now that they know a little bit more about it. And I think he looks a little better. I think he looks a little scarier in the second one. But man, the mythology behind the Creeper, like every 23rd, for 23 days, every 23 years, he can come back and eat. And it's like,
yeah,
oh my God. And he's freaking borderline unstoppable. Like, they decapitate him. The best you can hope to do is capture him and make him like not do anything. For me, I'm going great. I'm going great on the Creeper. I think they're terrifying, and yeah, they deserve great for me.
Nice. All right.
Something that I love about it, that first one, just the ideas of, stuff that you had never really seen before, and the fact that, they were finding those bodies down in that thing that had wooden teeth.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, man, that's so cool. Like, this thing has been around forever. Right. It was tearing colonial people up back in the day. I think that the whole mystique with the Creeper, and Eric, you said it best, dude. After 2, I don't even own them after 2, and I have a OCD when it comes to collecting, and I still don't own them, and I will probably never own them. But yeah, man, as a character, I think I got to put the Creeper in great status because it really is. Movie wise, though, the guy that made the movie, it's just like, geez,
he is a creeper.
Yeah, he's the real life creeper. I put
him in great.
Okay. This one is hard for me, and the reason it's hard for me is because the Creeper as a character is in my top 5 favorite horror characters of all time. I love the Creeper, but is he as iconic as Hannibal or Jason or Ghostface or Leatherface? No. So I don't know that I feel comfortable putting him in GOAT status when I'm looking at the people on the GOAT row. So although he would be personally for me in GOAT status as far as like my favorite horror characters, overall as a character, he's only got one truly great all-time favorite horror movie of mine. That's his first one. I do like the second one. But after that, I mean, he's only got 2 movies that I can rewatch. So I personally would go with Great, although as a character, I mean, he's one of my top 5 favorites.
Man,
so.
if you think he's a GOAT, vote for him as a GOAT. That's completely fine. When I brought up looking at other people in there, there's some people in there I know that are in GOAT that you didn't think should be in GOAT.
Yeah.
So you can compare, you can look at that, but man, if you think he's GOAT, I'm always for. I'm not going to judge anyone for sticking up for what they like. So if you think he's GOAT, bro, I say vote.
You know what? I'm going to GOAT. I'm going to go. I love the Creeper, man. I'm going GOAT for him.
Because I legitimately think there's people who wouldn't put Hannibal Lecter in there. I know there's people who wouldn't put Hannibal Lecter in there. I know there's people who wouldn't put Ghostface or Leatherface in there. I know everyone would put Jason in there. But dude, I think go for what you really feel about it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Melissa,
I'll go.
By the way, that truck be eating you. The
truck, dude.
Oh, but hold on a second. I don't know how much you look into Scarefests. Dude, the screen used Creeper truck is going to be in Kentucky at that convention.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah,
it's there every.
Oh,
the one that the bee eating you truck.
Yep.
Yeah, the screen used one is there, so it's going to be there. If you come up, we got to get a selfie together. If you come up,
yeah.
But yeah, the Creeper truck is going to be there. Okay,
dude, when he flies up behind them in that truck, just honking that. Oh, dude, it gets so intense. I mean, you go from 0 to 100 like that, man. I mean, it's so good.
Okay, so love for the Creeper, we got a score of 4.8.
Nice.
Firmly in the great category.
I like it. I'm all right with that. I am totally all right with that. So Creeper going in great. All right. So we'll kind of we'll cut it off there for today. We can always come back and knock out these other ones, but that's how it's looking so far. So far in the GOAT status, we have Jason, Hannibal Lecter, Leatherface, Ghostface. Great. We got Pennywise, Annabelle, Predator, Freddy, and Creeper. And then good, we got Jack Torrance, Sam, Chucky, Valak, and then Leprechauns down there by himself, the lone wolf sitting in the decent row. Interesting, we don't have any not good or failures yet.
So far,
the chat has been, pretty gracious. Guys, don't forget to go check out Movies and Beyond with Michael. Michael, are you still streaming later tonight?
I believe I am, sir.
All right. Well, go kick it with Michael later on tonight in Movies and Beyond. Hit that like, subscribe button if you haven't already, and go check out the Bearded Entertainment as well. Like and subscribe to Eric's awesome channel. Eric, I was going to ask you, because I didn't get to finish it. I had to go to work. Who won the ice cream competition?
Cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream. All right.
Yeah. I started. I just wanted to do. I think I actually ran that by Michael the other day. Like, I just want to do something like stupid. And
dude, that was fun.
Where people can come on and take a break from the world and just vote on something dumb to have a good time, and people seem to enjoy it. So I'm doing it again next Saturday. It's going to be the Silly Saturday stream. So I think next Saturday is going to be best fast food breakfast items.
Ooh.
So people in the chat, just throw out your favorite best fast food breakfast item, and we're gonna make a bracket. And
Burger King's French toast sticks, dude. They're so good.
Dude, show up next Saturday and vote for it.
Yeah, there's your nominee right there.
Oh, yeah.
Melissa, we're gonna do a part 2, so we'll definitely, trust me, we will get Michael on there. You guys already know where he's going for me, but yeah, we're gonna do a part 2. We'll get him on there, I promise. But this is the end of part 1. Michael, Eric, was there anything else you guys wanted to say or do before we head out?
I do declare. No, but I am getting. This is just a rumor for right now, but I'll share it here. To all of you comic book fans, there's a lot of different sites saying this is true, but it's still not confirmed by the creators. It looks like Henry Cavill is going to be playing Wolverine in Deadpool 3 as a multi-universe Wolverine.
One of the variants.
One of the variants.
I've heard about that.
So it is yet to be confirmed by Marvel, and that's usually what I'll wait before I make a video on it to say.
I don't think they will. I don't think they don't. Here's the thing: with other movies, they might, but with how popular Deadpool it already is, I don't think it's something they'll confirm before the movie. Just like they did, they never confirmed Toby and Andrew
Garfield.
They even took them out of the trailer.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like, because there's so much hype for that movie already.
Yeah, but
we got Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. You don't need any more hype.
You're done.
Just your thoughts. Can Henry Cavill play Wolverine?
Oh yes, he can.
I don't know. I'm on the fence with that. I think he can look the part, absolutely, but I don't know. Like with Wolverine, you need a certain I don't give a shit personality.
But can he bub?
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare?
No.
Watch that trailer starring Henry Cavill. Comes out next month. It's also got Jack Reacher. What's the Jack Reacher's guy's name?
The actual Thad. You're talking about Thad Castle?
Yeah.
Who's Thad Castle?
The actor's name? He's in it. Carrie Elwes is in it. Yeah. Bro, watch the trailer for that and then get back to me. Like, could Henry Cavill have that not give a shit attitude? Because it's literally him, and they're like, hey, the Nazis aren't playing well. We're gonna build a team of dirty fighters, and Henry Cavill's like, I know some people. Dude, it looks like a stupid fun action movie. But Alan Richardson, that's his name. Go watch the trailer, and then after you watch that, because he's also got a big beard and mustache in it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like
interesting.
So think about this though. Say this is true, right? Henry Cavill has played Geralt from The Witcher, Superman, and then Wolverine. Dude, you're living the
he is, man.
He also played what, Perseus? In Clash of the Titans?
I didn't see it. I didn't see Clash.
Dude, it's been so long since I've seen the Clash Titans movie. Because there was Clash of the Titans and then Wrath of the Titans too, right?
Immortals. Sorry, Immortals. Yeah, he played Theseus in Immortals. Bro, check that out. Like, he has a fight scene against Mickey Rourke as Hyperion. Bro, it's like a bone-crunching fight scene.
Wow.
Like, this is a young Henry Cavill, though. This was 2011, so this is 13 years ago. And dude, check it out. Like, check out Immortals. It's not got great scores. I'll give you that. It does not have great scores, but I really enjoyed it.
Okay. I'll give it a try.
Last thing.
Yeah.
Is anyone else seeing Ghostbusters Thursday night?
I don't think I'll be able to get to it
Thursday.
I do plan on seeing Godzilla and Kong 2 or whatever.
That's the following Thursday for me.
Thursday, yeah.
Oh, that's this Thursday. Hell yeah, dude. I'm seeing it this Thursday.
Yeah. Me
was
too.
Was the last one the one with Chris Hemsworth?
No.
That one doesn't exist. That one doesn't exist.
I don't think I saw the last one then.
You need to check out the last one, Afterlife.
Afterlife? So the new one we're getting is a direct sequel to Afterlife. Afterlife is a sequel to Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, really? So they just went.
They skipped.
Afterlife went from 2.
Yeah, like the remake, the 2016 all female remake does not exist in the current state. So
gotcha.
Afterlife direct sequel to Part 2, and Frozen Empire direct sequel to Afterlife.
Gotcha. All right, I need to check out Afterlife then.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend watching Afterlife like now, and then checking out Frozen.
Because I was not a fan of that remake. I was like, dude, I walked out of the theater thinking, why did I pay money to see this shit?
You and every other person who saw it.
Melissa saying, let everyone know there's a lot of Friday the 13th movies on TV right now. They're also on Max. If any of you have Max, they got a number of them streaming on there as well. Val saying, I'm excited about Ghostbusters. Looks like Val will be watching it. Neither was I, Clayton. Yeah. Guys, thanks for being in the chat and giving y'all's thoughts and votes. Michael, Eric, thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. I know you guys are incredibly busy, so I definitely appreciate any time you guys have to come kick it with me in Ages of Fear.
Yeah, man.
Hope to see you guys next time. Don't forget to check out these guys' awesome channel. And until next time, kick it and rock on. Later.